Welcome back to another video, and on today's video we are going to be doing a breakdown of the goals scored in the match between Everton and Manchester United. We're going to be analyzing the goals and see if the goals were scored because of brilliant football or due to poor defending. Without further ado, let's get into the video, and this is the first goal scored by Everton. So this goal started off as a result of a corner kick. As you can see, everyone's just in the box. This is the typical situation during a corner kick. So the ball is whipped into the box, and this Manchester United defender pretty much has a free attempt to clear the ball away, but completely misses it, completely misreads the situation, and knocks it back here. And then Maguire does well to actually header the ball back away. But what happens from here is a complete and absolute calamity, because it's just basically ping pong until the ball ends up in the back of the net. So in this situation, about 7-8 people have headed the ball, and Manchester United are still unable to clear the ball. But what I can see in this situation is that even though now the balls come back out and then the Everton player heads the ball back, everyone is still quite deep in this situation. And I don't know why they're sitting so deep, because what you want to do when you're defending the corner is when you get the ball off, you want to make sure that the attacking players are left in an offside position. Because for one, by trying to mark the players, you're just ensuring that if anything does fall to them in terms of a ricochet or a rebound, you're going to be playing them onside. And you can see this Manchester United defender is basically playing all the Everton players onside. So after the header, the Everton player heads the ball back in the box, and the chance basically falls to Beto, and honestly, it could have missed from there. So in the game, I think it took VAR quite a long time to check if this goal was offside. But from my replay, from what I could see, you can see that it looks like this United defender is playing Beto onside. This player headers the ball back in. Everyone is still deep. You can see these players are trying to push up, but he's number one trying to mark this player, hasn't got eyes on him. But then he's also sitting deeper than the rest of his team, which means that when this ball gets headed in here, he's playing everybody on. What ideally they should have done in this situation is the second that ball came back out, they should have all taken a step up, because by crowding this area, you're not really doing anything, and it just means that you're keeping the opposition players on. In my opinion, this goal was definitely due to horrible defending from the corner kick, because number one, the first United player that fails to clear the ball, even though he had a completely free header to get rid of the ball, and then just the ricochet and the pinging of the ball back and forth before this ball is headed in through to Beto to score. So this was definitely poor defending, poor clearing of the line from the United defender. There was really nothing Onana could have done to stop this, because once the Everton player was through, he was pretty much in front of the goal, like a few yards out, and he just basically puts it in the back of the net. So yeah, this goal was definitely poor defending. Okay, we're going to move on to the next goal. Okay, so this next goal starts with the Everton player receiving the ball in this position, and a horrible attempt at pressing from this United player. I mean, if you're going to, run towards a player to try and mark them, I know sometimes when you're sprinting, you can get caught out, but this was just horrible pressing. And in this picture, I'm sure United players probably think that there's no danger, but you have 1, 2, 3 people in attack, and you have one player over here marking this player. It doesn't look like there's any danger here, but as we know in football, things can change in the split of a second. So let's see how this play progresses. Okay, so he turned the Manchester United player and he placed the ball into this player. Now, just with one pass of the ball, now United still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players who are behind the ball, which means, and this player over here is obviously not really affecting play, but he's still very far behind. One thing in football as well is that the ball travels quicker than any player can do. So with one pass, you can literally take out multiple players. So What I can see in this picture is that United don't really seem to have a very compact shape. You have one, two players here who are really not in any shape to press the ball. He's not close to this ball to press it. I mean, this touch from the Everton player was not great, in all fairness. If he had been a little bit tighter on this player, he might have been able to recover this ball back before the danger happens. But he's way too far back. He's not even ready to pounce or anything. So the Everton player gets the ball, he's able to take a touch and look up and pick up a pass. And this is the point I was trying to make. With one pass of the ball, you've managed to eliminate more than half of the United team. Just with one pass of the ball. Because like I said, the shape is not very compact from United. The pressing was very poor. There's no point being in and around the ball if you're not in any position to, number one, tackle the player that's on the ball, or at least cut off the passing lanes to possible dangerous players from the opposition team. So now, with one pass of the ball, you're in a 1-2 Everton players v2 situation. And I've said on my previous videos, when you're the defending team, you never want to have either the same number of players as the attacking team, and you certainly don't want them to have more players than you. And even looking at this picture, you can see that one Everton player is here. If we draw the line here, it's basically a 3v2. And this all happened in the space of 1 second. And then when this Everton player gets onto the ball, you can see that the United players are really struggling to have the legs to get back. This guy looks like he's pretty much giving up in his demeanor. He looks like he's just kind of casually strolling back as well. Before, when we had 3 Everton players against 2 defenders, now look, you have an Everton player here, another one here, another one here, and the player that plays the ball. So we went from a 3v2 for Everton to a 4v2, just because you can see that the desire and the hunger from the United players to get back is just not there. It's almost like they've mentally given up and they've just accepted that they've conceded this goal. Whereas if they had made more of an effort to get back quicker, they might have actually been able to prevent the goal, because the initial chance wasn't finished up by the Everton player. So when this ball comes to this player, not only does he have time to take a touch, he's able to turn Maguire inside out by coming back this way. He was trying to mark this player, so I can't really blame him in this situation. You have 1, 2, 3 Everton players here, and look, they still haven't got back to the box. Like this, from players who are playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world, you would expect a little bit more hunger and determination and passion to get back to help the team to defend what is basically a counter-attack. But this player still has time. The cross was fantastic, but he could have taken a shot, but he had so much time to take the touch, take the ball inside, and there was no one around him that could stop him or prevent that from happening. That's just really, really, really poor defending. That's really poor tracking back from the United players. It's really, it shows a lack of hunger and desire to work for the team. The initial save from Onana was actually quite good. And now finally you have 1, 2, 3, 4 United players in the box and 1 player just on the edge of the box. This number 4, I don't know what he's doing. If I was the manager, I would cancel his contract right now, because he's made absolutely zero effort to get back. Like, it's actually very poor mentality from this player, because he's just kind of given up. He's just kind of accepted that the ball's going in. Whereas maybe if he had come back, he might have been able to affect the play, stop the rebound or anything. But nope, look, he's still here after all this time. He's made, I think he came from here to here. So this number 4, if I was the manager, he'd be getting benched for the next 6 matches. And then after the initial save from Onana, none of the defense really helps in any way to clear this ball, to impede this striker, or to do anything meaningful to try and prevent this goal. I mean, one thing this player could have done is try to get back onto the line in anticipation that maybe if the striker wins the ball, he might be able to get back on it. But no, they all just seem to be watching the ball go into the air and watching as the ball came back down. And he's having a run on Maguire, so it's going to be very difficult for Maguire to jump with him. But as a defender, you still jump. Like, even if you lose, it's all about showing a little bit of effort, showing a little bit of passion. But Maguire absolutely just doesn't even compete for this. Just lets the striker from Everton jump for the ball. Free header. Onana has nothing he can do, and it's a goal. And in my opinion, this was just again another example of poor defending from Manchester United. The closing down from the initial pass was very poor. The shape was very poor. There was way too many gaps to be exposed for the Everton team. They were basically able to split the whole Manchester United midfield and defense open in one pass. And for a team that's considered one of the best teams, they're supposed to be playing at the top level, that's just not good enough. And you can blame the manager for this and that, but sometimes the players also have to look at themselves, because you're professionals getting paid thousands a week, and if that's the best you can do, this number 4 still isn't even in the fucking box. Like, what the fuck is he doing? If I, like I said, if I'm the manager, he's getting benched for the next 6 matches, because this is just not good enough. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the next goal. Okay, so this is the next goal which was scored by Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United. This goal was basically just scored from a direct free kick. There's not really to analyze in this goal. It was just a wonderfully struck free kick. If I was to really say something, the only thing I could maybe say is that maybe the starting position of the goalkeeper is a little bit poor, because he's kind of central in the middle of the goal. Your wall is set up on this side of the goal. You possibly want to be starting closer to this side of the goal, which means that you're going to give the striker basically the option to put the ball over the wall and put the ball here. But by starting in the middle of the goal, you're kind of actually giving yourself basically a 50-50, because now I think in this situation, the attacker knows that you're trying to stay closer to this side because you're expecting him to put the ball here. So what does Bruno Fernandes does? He doesn't oblige the keeper, and he puts the ball far corner. And I'm pretty sure as Bruno takes that free kick, the keeper makes a move to his right, and his whole momentum is going to the right side, which means that it's very difficult for him to go back to the left. But honestly, this was just in my opinion, a wonderful free kick from Bruno Fernandes. He catches the keeper out, and it's a fantastic goal. So there's not really much I can criticize in terms of the defending, other than maybe the keeper could have had a better starting position. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next goal. Okay, before we move on to the next goal, so this actually does prove my point. So the keeper started from here. And as Bruno struck the free kick, he jumps over here. And in that time he jumps, the ball comes on this side. His foot is just getting planted, and he's unable to dive to the other side to stop the goal. So he kind of actually mind gamed himself into not being able to save this, because if he had started from here, Bruno would more than likely have tried to go over the wall and play the ball here. And as a keeper, there's no point in you setting a wall on this side only for you to start centrally close to your wall. The whole point of you having a wall is that you take one side of the goal, your wall takes the other side. So if the free kick taker wants to beat you, he has to put that ball over the wall and into this side. But by you starting closer to the side that you've placed the wall, you're basically giving the free kick taker an option to go to the other side of the wall and not have to put that ball over the wall. So maybe the keeper should have done better there. Again, still a fantastic free kick, but I don't know what the keeper was thinking by starting position in this. Okay, so this is the equalizer by Manchester United, and it basically comes from a free kick taken by Bruno Fernandes. Everton have a very high line for this free kick, From this picture, you can see that not one of their players in the box. This is a good tactic to defending free kicks, because it's very easy for the attacking team to run too early and catch themselves offside before the free kick is even taken. And when executed well, this is a very good way to defend free kicks, especially when the free kick is coming from so far out. So Bruno takes the free kick, and the person who wins the ball actually is an Everton defender. He does very well to actually win this ball. Keeper's kind of a little bit to the left of his goal. Nothing wrong there because he was probably thinking the ball was going to go through. But you can see here that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think there's 2 players here, but at least 6 that I can tell from this frame Everton player that's followed. You have this player here who's just kind of watching, and these two seem to have collided. And you have this player here in acres of space on the edge of the box. I mean, literal acres of space at the edge of the box. This player I think was in the wall, so he's not involved in the play at all. But you shouldn't be again giving players at this level of the game this much space on the ball. It's just going to punish you. And sometimes it doesn't work. He could have got this ball and skyrocketed it, but the point is that once this guy initially won this header, you would ideally want someone close to this player to put pressure on him when he gets the ball. That doesn't happen, and it's very obvious what happens next. So the ball's headed back out to him, and this player kind of notices the danger and he sprints back trying to put pressure on the ball, which he does the right thing. This player was very slow in getting up and is unable to affect the play. This player is still kind of watching, and he has so much time here to think about this because he even has time to take a touch. And my final verdict on this goal is that it's an element of poor defending. It's not really. Rebounds are very, very hard to judge. Like I said, there should have definitely been one player on him, but at the same time, this kind of happens so quickly. It's really hard to say if it's bad defending or if it's more just an element of luck that, this player just happened to be at the right place at the right time when the ball came back out to him, because there wasn't any good play here, but this is what teams usually do when they're defending set pieces. But it just so happens that this player was completely free here, and he was able to take the shot and get a good goal off. That's my opinions on the goals. Please like and subscribe if you like, and please comment in the video what are your thoughts on the goals, if you think there's anything I missed. Peace.